All right, ABG fam, answers by guess. Going for the NFC South preview here in season 7. We are Fantasy Football's inside scoop from outside the box. What up there, guess?
Rico.
Oh,
Suave.
¿qué pasa, muchacho? All right.
Not much.
Remember, guys, like us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Patreon, and now podcasting on Spotify. Always look for those hashtags, answers by guess, and ABGFF on every single post, guys. You need to look for us. That's how you find us. All right. NFC South preview, like we mentioned, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Carolina Panthers, New Orleans Saints, and the Atlanta Falcons. Guess, I'll let you go.
Answer by guess. 2 guys in the basement. Rob, guess. Inside scoop from outside the box. We talk about the guys somebody else is talking about before they start talking about them. That's what we're doing tonight. 5 guys for your eyes. NFC South.
All right, guys, this is where we're going to rank 5 guys, going from 5 to 1. And like we have been doing for the last 7 videos, there is a bonus at the end. All right, number 5 on guess's list is Bucs rookie wide receivers. All of them?
Every single one.
Ooh.
Every single one. There's kind of a reason why. A couple of reasons. One, I mean, Chris Godwin, been falling apart. Mike Evans, been falling apart. I mean, they're durable enough. They're solid, super solid. But after you get past those 2, what do you got? Russell Gage? Come on. Rob, I hope I don't make you feel bad, and he's the Rob bonus. That's all I got to say.
Well, I know what I'm doing for the next couple minutes here. No, I'm just joking.
Then after Russell Gage, you got Kalen Geiger, Devin Tompkins, and good old David Moore. Then you have 5, count them 5, rookie wide receivers.
Holy crap.
The big one that everybody's talking about is Trey Palmer. He fell a little bit in the draft. And he's the one, if people are grabbing a rookie wide receiver for the Bucs, that they're going to end up taking. Then there's Cade Warner, there's Raheem Jarrett, Ryan Miller, and Tay Barber. So 1 or 2 of these guys, I'm telling you right now, are going to pop. And what I wrote in the notes, because I write my 5 guys for your eyes, and I take a picture, I send them to Rob so he can do all the setup. I wrote in parentheses, be prepared. Be prepared for 1 or 2, at least, of these guys to really pop. They got Baker Mayfield. Say whatever you want about him. If he struggles, which I hope he does not. I hope he kills it. Well, it's Kyle Trask. Either way, they're going to be throwing the ball a decent amount. I mean, yeah, they got Rashad White. They drafted a rookie running back. Can't think of his name. Maybe Rob can pull it up.
Tucker, I think his name, Sean Tucker.
Yeah. Yep. And so, and they signed Chase Edmonds.
Chase Edmonds is the other. Yeah, he's the two over there.
So like they're going to try and run the ball, but those guys aren't Derrick Henry. They're not CMC. I mean, Rashad White is amazing, but he's not going to carry the load. They're going to let Baker sling it. Hopefully they put him in good position with good throws. He's got 2 great stud wide receivers, but 1 or 2 of these rookies are going to pop. And if I had to pick 2, Cade Warner, who is, I want to say like 7th right now on the depth chart, or Tay Barber, who's all the way at the bottom. Those are the 2 names where I'm kind of thinking, okay, these might be the guys. So number 5, NFC South finale show, right?
Oh, yeah.
Be ready. Be prepared. Bucs rookie wide receivers, because if those top 2 guys go down, they're going to be relied on heavily, because it's not going to be Russell Gage or David Moore or any of these other bums. They're going to get the rookies in there. It's a little bit of a rebuild since Brady left. They want to see what Baker's got in them. Be prepared. Bucs rookie wide receivers. They got a bunch. They got 5. I don't think anybody else has 5 rookie wide receivers.
That's a lot. I didn't even know. I knew about Palmer and I knew about Jarrett. I didn't even hear about those other guys. So those are definitely guys I will be adding to my watch list. All right. Oh, number 4, Kendre Miller, the rookie running back for the New Orleans Saints.
Rookie at 4.
I like it. I like the rookie at 4. I love it. I didn't even realize
Every time.
I didn't realize it.
I don't even do it on purpose.
Talk to us about it.
I mean, to be fair, there was a rookie at 5 of them.
5.
But anyways, yeah, Kendre Miller. I mean, Kamara might not face a suspension, obviously. And again, it always seems like I'm putting a rookie at 4, and it's a rookie most people know about, and they're already drafting. But he's going much, much later. And we've seen Kamara over these past few years, last year especially. I mean, granted, their quarterback situation's been terrible, and it's Derek Carr this year, so say whatever you want about him, but they'll be better with him for sure than they were. And Taysom's going to still do his thing. I really like Juwan Johnson, kind of left him off this list. But Michael Thomas, I don't want anything to do with it. Olave, they're going to try and run the ball. Throw the ball to a few guys here and there. Maybe when we get close to the end zone. But Kendre Miller is like a mini sort of Kamara. I know Gibbs is a little more like Kamara, but just go back a few years when it was Mark Ingram and Kamara. I think that's what you're going to see here. And I think you can get supreme value on him because people are drafting Bijan Robinson in the top 3 in redrafts from what I see. I was looking at a few things Saturday night. I was like, all right, training camps are getting started. Let me just see. And I'm looking at like a few mocks and projections, like Bijan in the top 5. And I'm like, we've seen this before. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, talking about you. And whatever, maybe he'll kill it, but Algier's still there. But back to Kendre Miller. He's a name that people are overlooking because they're going after Gibbs. They're going after Bijan, and they're going after maybe the A-Train in Miami until they sign Cook and a couple of other guys that we've talked about in this segment over the past few shows. But I think Kendre Miller might wind up being not so much a diamond in the rough, but one that you kind of glance past and look at something a little more shiny. So keep your eye on him. Number 4. A little bit of a cheat code, but number 4, sure.
I like it. All right. Number 3. Ooh, a familiar name. Mr. Kyle Pitts did not play well.
He played okay.
Yeah. For tight end, he played okay.
The coach was terrible. They never threw him the ball. Yeah, and then he got hurt. He played like 6 games or 8 games. He was hurt. He missed the whole rest of the year. Let's not forget that Kyle Pitts set the rookie record 2 years ago for tight ends. And people thought that year, oh, man, he sucks. What the heck? I thought Kyle Pitts was supposed to be amazing. He's a rookie tight end. He broke Dick Butkus, Mike Ditka, one of the two dits. He broke their records, right? And had the best tight end rookie season ever. Was a little bit overdrafted last year. I'm guilty of it. But who would have saw the coaching debacle coming? Nobody. And with Ritter as the quarterback this year, they're going to be looking to throw the ball and get him to something sure-handed. They got Drake London. They got Bijan and Algier, so they're going to be running the ball with those two as much as they possibly can. But Kyle Pitts is going to have a nice season. And while he's still probably ranked in the top 5 for tight ends, a lot of people are going to pass him up. And I guess he made this list because if somebody passes him up and you need a tight end, I'm not afraid to grab him round 5. I'm not sure where he's going. But, we like to wait on tight ends a little because all we want is 36 yards and 4 catches. But Kyle Pitts, I think, is going to be supreme value this year. Unless he really hits something this summer and starts making waves, his draft stock's going to keep falling and falling and falling. And, he's coming back from big injuries, so he's not really even practicing too much. So just remember to keep your eye on Kyle Pitts because everybody else is going to be grabbing Kelsey early, Kittle early.
Andrews, those kind of guys,
Hawkinson, and let them take them. And somebody might even grab somebody before Pitts. Then you just snatch them because The talent's there, and it's a new coaching staff, and they're not going to do the same thing they did last year and not throw him the ball. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, even if Ritter doesn't play great, they have Heineke right behind him, and we've seen Heineke be successul with the Commanders. So, all right, going on to number 2. Ooh, somebody actually mentioned in this video, Jonathan Mingo from the Carolina Panthers. Going to be interesting for Carolina, man. I really think that this team could be pretty good, but let's talk about them.
They're dying for wide receivers. DJ Moore's in Chicago. They draft probably one of the best rookies in the class. Dude's an absolute beast. And people know his name. He's a shiny toy, so you're going to have to battle a little bit to get him. He'll probably be like around 9 or 10 or 8, 9, 10. But we need a wide receiver 3. He's the guy. For now, because he could move his way up the list. He could be the number 1 wide receiver on their team if it wasn't for somebody else.
Oh, and is that your number 1?
Yeah.
Terrace
Does anybody even know who was better than Jamar Chase at LSU?
Ooh.
Better stats, better pedigree, was more highly sought after coming out of high school. Just has had a rough stretch with the Panthers. Was hurt his rookie year. Last year, what the heck was going on with their quarterbacks? I mean, Baker was terrible with them. Sam Darnold. I don't even know at one point who'd they have in. Some old.
Yeah, I can't think of who it is.
It wasn't Bridgewater, was it?
No.
But Bridgewater was on them for a while.
Yeah,
it was somebody.
It is. Yeah,
they had the dude from the XFL.
That's who I'm thinking of. The dude from the XFL.
They got the number 1 pick in the draft. Stroud. No, Bryce Young. Bryce Young. Stroud is Houston.
Yeah.
Bryce Young. And they got Matt Corral waiting in the wings in case he struggles at all. They got 2 very solid. Corral would have been the quarterback last year if he didn't get hurt in the preseason, guaranteed. And he probably would be drafted this year in fantasy. People would be loving him. Marshall would have had a better year. DJ Moore might not have left. CMC might not have left. They traded him, but still, he wouldn't have wanted to go because they would have had some success, some coherent offensive schemes. Terrace Marshall is a guy who popped often last year, very quietly. Very few people noticed. The only people that noticed are people like me that were in leagues that had guys devastated with injuries, or you knew about Terrace Marshall and you had to pluck him and put him in your lineup. And next thing you know, he's got a 60-yard bomb and then he's got another 30-yard touchdown. And you're like, yeah, all right. Huge chunk plays. He could be a possession receiver as well, although I think Mingo might fall into that role. But people know Mingo because he's a rookie, and people say, Mingo, flashing lights, rookie, shiny toy. He's going to be their best wide receiver. I'm telling you. Terrace Marshall probably will not be drafted. You're going to wish that you did. And when injuries start happening, and you start looking through and you see Chase Claypool on the waiver wire and all these other bums, just type in MARSH. Oh, there's that guy I guess was talking about, because he's out there. He's out there in our dynasty league. If I had room for him, he'd be on my team. He was on my team last year. I just don't have room right now.
Is it bad that some of my questionable guys, I want them to list as injured in some way so I can put them on my injury
I
list?
want to put guys on IR like I wish we had a taxi squad or something.
I'm like, questionable, come on. Can I drag it down?
Come on, he's hurt. I need to pick up a guy.
Bro, I
love him.
I like what you did here. It kind of reminds you what you did in the video for Houston Texans where you had Nico Collins and Mechie, how they could be that thing. I think the same concept with Mingo and Terrace Marshall. I really think that those guys have that type of thing. They both have young quarterbacks that are going to build around them and stuff like that. It just seems like a good fit.
Yeah, the number 1 guy left on both teams, Cooks is gone. DJ Moore's gone. They need to do something. The defenses, Houston's defense probably is not going to be good. Carolina's was surprisingly okay at times, but the defenses aren't going to be anything special. They're going to have to put up points. We don't care if teams lose 60-20. We're just happy they scored 20, and we hope our guy got 6 of them at least.
Totally agree. All right, guys, going on to the Rob bonus here. Somebody that you didn't mention. You mentioned 5 rookie wide receivers. There was one person that you did not mention at all during this whole entire thing, and that's Cade Otton.
Yeah.
Baker likes his tight ends. If Baker is your guy and that's who Tampa Bay is going with, look what he did with Njoku. Look what he did with Bryant. And he sucked. He didn't play very good. And he still gave those guys stats that you were hoping for from a fantasy value standpoint on a weekly basis when they were in there. Cade Otton's going to be that safety net for him when he's third down. But I can see your guys, again, it's going to be a rotation. I don't think it's going to be Godwin as much as we saw last year. But I think that Cade Otton could get some of that, especially in that third down type of situation, kind of like how Freiermuth and Pickett were. I can see that same type of concept with Baker and Cade Otton.
Yeah, and what's so great about that call, Rob, is that Cade Otton really didn't get on the field until about week 5 or so. He was blocked by Brate and whoever else was there.
Yeah.
And once he got on, he had some success. And it's year 2. And listen, your Rob bonus right here, and a couple times I've mentioned it. We talked about Trey McBride, different segment with the AFC South. I talked about our boy Chiggy. I said it last season, and I said it like mid-year before a lot of the guys popped. I said 2022 tight end draft class will go down in history as the greatest tight end draft class ever. And I just have this feeling that after this season, next year will be the first year that all of us, the ABG family and the entire fantasy world, will have such a plethora of serviceable, if not studly, tight ends to choose from. We have been strapped with 2 or 3 monsters, and then the rest we try and get 36 yards and 3 or 4 catches. I got a feeling that after this season, I mean, the names we already know. I just went through a few of them. You talked about Freiermuth already. Like, he was the one, right? Yeah. I just feel like we're going to be like, oh my gosh, Isaiah Likely, right? There's so many guys, Bellinger.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just guys that are going to be something. Whereas we've gone so long that if you didn't get the top 3 tight ends, you're pretty much screwed. Already we have 5 that we named when we were talking about Kyle Pitts.
Yep.
Right? Pitts was like the 5th one or the 6th one.
Yeah.
So already we're pretty good. That's half a standard league of 12 teams. Once these guys start popping, Dolchich, once they start popping, you'll be like, oh my gosh, there's 15 solid tight ends. You can't go wrong. I think that's where we're going to be in 2024.
Fingers crossed, my friend.
Got a feeling, man. I got a feeling. Their 3rd year, people are going to start to see it this year. You'll be like, wow, there's a lot of good tight ends out there. And you know who else? And I don't know if he was a rookie last year. It might have been his 2nd year. And we didn't mention him, but since we're on the NFC South, I could talk about him. Juwan Johnson.
Yeah.
He was my huge sleeper week 1. I told people to pick him up, right? Remember that?
I do.
Two touchdowns, then kind of died off. I think with Derek Carr, he's going to be a stud. I think Juwan Johnson, what's his face is gone. Adam Troutman's gone.
Yeah.
And, Taysom Hill's going to play the tight end role, but how much will he? I think Juwan Johnson is going to be a stud this year and get regular playing time. And we know that Carr likes the tight end. I mean, look what he did with Darren Waller.
Yeah. He made his career. Mm-hmm. All right, guys.
That was a guest bonus.
I like that. I like it a lot. All right, guys. Remember, like us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Patreon, and now podcasting on Spotify. Always look for those hashtags, answers by guests, and ABGFF. We'll probably post something about going live within the next couple weeks here. I know I have vacation. I'm pretty sure you have vacation coming up, but we're getting closer and closer, and it's getting more and more exciting, man.
Yeah, I know one thing's going to happen, right? Real quick, so we can wrap this up. It's 20-minute video, longest one we've done in this segment. We're sorry for that. But, Rob, while I got you on the line, while I got everybody else on the phone here, we're going to have to random draft orders for ABG League and for Fantasize Me. It's probably going to be a live video.
Okay.
So whenever we can get that going, might be in like 3-4 weeks. Maybe you all can join us and ask some questions, and that'll be the cherry popper, so to speak.
I want to cover my ears on that one. All right, guys. Answers by guess. Peace.
See ya.